his assistant as well. It'll be the select team in the white, the Wildcats in the red. Thank you for joining us. The Midwest Express with the first 2 points of this evening as people join us right around Perth, Western Australia, the country WA, and across on the East Coast as well, as referee Bosnakis has just highlighted a foot violation. It'll be a side ball. And now referee Konza is having a chat with the bench. And a big warm welcome tonight. Ben Pether is my name. And joining alongside me from Zionsville, Indiana, he's a Elon University Division I NCAA graduate. He has played for multiple clubs here in the NBL1 West. It's a big warm welcome on a chilly Sunday afternoon to Jack Eisenbarger.
Thank you for that awesome introduction. Benny, grateful to be here. We should have a very fast-paced, high-scoring game on our hands. Can't wait for this one.
We do. Marshall Nelson, CJ Turnage, Caleb Davis, Johnny Narkle, and Deshaun Parsons for the select team to start us tonight. Here is Parsons out of the Goldfields for season 2024. And it's a 4-0 start right now for the select team. Here's Doolittle for his second year now with the Cats. BC for 3. Can't connect this time. They're going with Doolittle, Pinder, Webster, Cotton, Harris. And Cotton thought it might have been off Turnage there. They bring it back in. 17 to shoot. Here's Nelson in the corner. Catch and shoot. He's had NBL experience previously himself. Here is Narkle. He's up to 4 points already. And Jackie Eisenbarger just so nice, easily settling the nerves in the second of these 2 preseason games.
Absolutely. It's going to be fast-paced. We got the NBL1 All-Stars. Haven't played a lot together, but full of talent, and they're going to come out with a ton of energy.
Here is Doolittle. Back to the basket, fading away. Got a nice angle. Christian Doolittle, as mentioned before, one of our fan favourites the season 2023-2024. That's come off the shoulder of Pinder. Great to see him back again with the Perth Wildcats. Jackie, so impressive to not only go once but twice, 2022-2023, most improved player, Keanu Pinder.
He plays both ends of the floor, which you'll notice. He's long. He runs the floor great for a big man. He's so versatile, can play inside out, and he's just going to keep blossoming when he keeps putting the work in.
The steal there. Here's Webster to that man. BC upstairs. Well, he's out of Arizona, but he calls West Coast Australia home now, Bryce Cotton. And that's come off the hand there of Webster. 6 plays 4. And the coaching lineup that John really has put together with plenty to say early in this one. And, of course, Jack, when you're bringing a new group together, it's important just to find your groove both as a player and as a team collectively.
Absolutely. Chemistry on and off the court is critical. And you know, early days now, these guys are getting to know each other. Really is going to experiment with different lineups. It'll be interesting to see what 5 really come together, and it's going to be his main 5.
Nice pass across the key to Narkle. Parsons contesting. Doolittle pulls it down. And as you touched on, Jack, it was going to be end-to-end. Here it is. Cotton over Nelson. Advantage Cotton. And the Wildcats take the lead 7-6. Davis drew contact. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Caleb Davis out of Warwick Senators. Spent time what was formerly known as the Australian Institute of Sport, now the COE. And time at the Adelaide 36ers. And Jack, a feel-good story of Caleb Davis this year making the move to the Joondalup Wolves to play with his college teammate CJ Turnage, his groomsman. And it's one of the feel-good stories about where you make friends right across the world.
Absolutely. And, you know, can relate with that. Did the same thing at Perry Lakes with Daniel Alexander just a season ago. But love seeing these guys reconnect at the NBL1 level. And basketball is more than a game. It is about those relationships as well.
Caleb Davis going 1 for 2, ties it up, 7 apiece. Thank you for joining us. Ben Pether in commentary. Jack Eisenberg with all his special comments. Here's Webster to the cup. Seas parted for the man out of New Zealand. Parsons.
Notice how many, Benny, early buckets we're seeing. They're looking to get a shot up in the first 6-8 seconds of the shot clock. I think it's going to be a lot of that early on. We're just going to see this fast pace. Now we'll see a half-court set with the sideline inbounds.
What a matchup we got here with Cotton and Nelson. Here's Cotton now, creating, step back, mid-range. There's a reason that man is not 1, 2, 3, but a 4-time MVP in the National Basketball League. Nelson now to the cup. It's a good angle and the finish. Webster thought that Johnny Narkle interfered illegally. Referees let him play. Here's Doolittle going straight at Turnage. Stripped by Turnage. The NBL1 West select team have come to play, of course, on Friday night at the Morley Recreation Centre.
Just force that one. If you would just hit the wing there, hit Marshall, he'll have an easy angle for that post entry. Just force that one a little bit too much.
Of course, this team only having one training session, Jackie Eisenbarger, on Thursday night to put the group together. And one tie. Webster, he's going to go to the free throw line to shoot one more. Yeah, you mentioned there before, just making that easy angle. Both teams, but coming with plenty of energy. Bit of fire already in this. I know that from the game on Friday night. Players on the NBL1 West select team were just trying to find their groove in terms of whose turn it was. And Webster to the line to shoot the bonus. Can't get it to drop. 4 points to Webster now. Here's Parsons. That pass has gone awry. Nearly taking out one of our score bench who do a fantastic job. Our basketball, whereas an NBL1 West game, NBL, WNBL, would not be possible without our score bench, our technical officials, the statisticians. Here's Cotton. Now Webster. Pinder gets his feet behind the line. Over the long arm of Parsons. He's off to the races. Blocked by Pinder.
That's what we talked about earlier, Ben. Pinder plays both ends of the floor, and I think that's what really is going to really expect from him is to be a shot blocker, but also finish offensively around the basket.
Well, the last time the Lakeside Lightning men's side, Jack Eisenbarger, there's a banner hanging up here, 2013. There's a picture in the foyer. Keanu Pinder was a part of that playing group. Head coach Andy Stewart. It's been 11 years since they've hung a men's banner here at the Lakeside Lightning, and well, I remember the talk around the town here was, get a good look at him. He won't be here for very long. And
oh, great backdoor.
Great pass there from Davis. And 4 years at Arizona, Jack. That's not a, it's a big-time college. Spent time with DeAndre Ayton. There's Cotton now. Can't get that to drop. Josh Davey, fan favorite here on his home floor. Here's Turnage, scoring machine. He's fouled by Webster. But as we touched on, Pinder really created a career for himself there. But 4 years out of Arizona. Went to the Cairns Taipans. Now calls the Perth Wildcats home. Back where it all started. And East Perth Eagles Jr.
The masked man, you're going to see him again. Love the energy he brings on both sides of the court. He's going to protect the rim defensively, run the court in transition.
Who could ever forget the mask of LeBron James? Some people have absolutely rocked it throughout times. As some of the just some friendly advice from the MC there, or should I say the DJ, Jack Eisenbarger, as Ethan Elliott checks into the game. Marshall Nelson sitting down. He had a great 2024 season, Marshall Nelson. Last night, he was awarded the MVP of the Willetton Tigers for their awards night. Here's Pinder, back to the basket, going to work on Davey. Couldn't get the angle. Drops on the ladder. Cotton. Oh, the handle from Cotton. He's just turning around to referee Kathy Hay, just having a chat, as is John, really?
You mentioned Nelson earlier. He's off to Italy next year, already signed for 2024-2025 in Europe.
Here's Henschel now. Mid-range. Contact on the elbow, and Ben Henschel is going to go to the free throw line to shoot two as Travis Durnan's going to check in. Well, those playing along at home, Ben Henschel, no stranger to that free throw line. It was only, and it's incredible, 3 years ago, Jack Eisenbarger, he walked to that free throw line and scored his first ever NBL1 West points for the Coburn Cougars. On a chilly Friday night against the Lakeside Lightning, Ben Henschel, he's continued to go from strength to strength, and his good mate Riley Eves scored his first points that night from the free throw line as well. But you talk about that length and that athleticism. He was an absolute bucket in the New Zealand NBL in the NBL offseason.
Absolutely. And a high IQ point guard has the ability to play the 1 and 2 combo guard. You'll see him tonight. Would love to see him be aggressive and look to score early.
Here's Turnage. We've played 5 minutes, 13 plays 12. Davey tried to knock it to his advantage. Here is Henschel, should I say. Cotton goes at Durnan. Contact on the hip. The death touch from Bryce Cotton.
He's really perfected that high finish off the glass as a shorter guard. He's been able to do that year after year, put it over the help of the big man, and he just has that beautiful soft touch.
We see the likes of DJ Sackman, Jay Law, the Chris Brickley. We see all these workouts now, Jack, on the social medias and the YouTube. And when you talk about those finishes and those different angles, we see it there from Bryce. And the amount of attention he gets, they're good looks for him these days.
Absolutely. Anytime he can get to the basket, he's going to look to put the ball up high or make a play for a teammate.
Here's Jackson now for three. Catch and shoot in a pair of Kobe 4s. Tevin Jackson, the coolest, smoothest man in the NBL1 West. Harris. They go through Cotton again. Nice roll there from Doolittle. Doolittle just moved Josh Davey with that little hip check. And that's no mean feat. 18 plays 15. Durnan to the cup. Left side, right finish, Travis Durnan. Doesn't lack confidence. Won a championship with the Rockingham Flames in 2022 as, speaking of championships, 2023 championship winner Johnny Narkle sits down. Shout out to all our listeners in the Northwest Coast, the Geraldton Buccaneers. I made the trip there for their preliminary final. Unfortunately, Jack, they didn't get the win, but it was a sellout, 1,600-plus crowd there. And there was a few times in my life where I couldn't actually hear myself think on the broadcasters. Durnan gets the friendly roll.
Geraldton get a fantastic crowd, fantastic backing by the Buccaneer supporters.
Here's Cotton. The wraparound pass to Doolittle. He had plenty of time to line it up. Henschel and Elliott know each other very well. Spent time at the COE and multiple gold medals for WA at the Australian National Championships. Davey over Doolittle, short. Nice rebound there from Michael Harris. They're back through Henschel now for three.
Smooth looking shot from Henshaw.
Benny Henschel, his first points from the land of plenty. As Sebert Reith makes his way to the bench. Tevin Jackson spin cycle. Marshall Nelson competing. Here's Dave Aquera. He's stolen but by Ethan Elliott. Jackson knocked down his first look from outside. 2 for 2. And he's got a bit to say. I don't know if that was to Aquera or someone in. But right back the other way, Bryce Cotton just gets so easy into the paint. 2 feet, Jack Eisenbarger.
It's effortless, and it's beautiful to watch. It's just anyone with that level of skill and ability, when they get in the keyway, he just immediately can make play. As
right now we see 4-time MVP Bryce Cotton sitting down, and both teams going deep into their bench already in this first quarter. 4 team fouls now for the Perth Wildcats. See Elijah Pepper at 17 points on Friday night. Nelson, just that hesitation.
Great use of his body on that decel step. You'll notice he got into the body of the defense, Marshall Nelson, and was just able to use that slow decel step and get it high off the glass for the layup.
Interesting to note that Marshall Nelson spent time playing right around the world. As you touched on, Jack, was an injury replacement player for the Cairns Taipans when they had Scott Machado. Prior to that, at the Illawarra Hawks, and now calls Wilton Tigers home and off to Italy in 2 weeks. Here's Pepper, born in Shepparton, Victoria. Henschel for his second look from outside. Gets back on. Elijah Pepper tapped it to the advantage of his teammate. Pepper, mid-range. Couldn't connect Doolittle. Well, just dropped in his lap. An ambitious pass there from Nelson. Pepper. Bang, bang, Pepper.
Quick release from Pepper. Love to see him catch and shoot. No hesitation whatsoever.
Backdoor pass to Nelson. I hope he's okay on that landing there, Marshall Nelson. Yeah, as you touched on there before, Jack, just the catch and shoot. And we love seeing that on Friday night as his first minutes tonight. Russo Nance checks into the game. He's having a chat right now with Elijah Pepper. And I'll tell you this right now, Elijah Pepper only been here on the West Coast for a few weeks, but I'm no doubt about it. I'm sure he's hit the weights room. Look at those pipes.
He's built like a middle linebacker in NFL.
Nelson knocks down the second. Thank you for joining us right around the country. NBL1 West select team taking on the Perth Wildcats for the second of their preseason games. Here's Pepper. Short. Ben Pether in commentary. Jack Eisenberg with all his special comments. Parsons finds Sebet upstairs. The man out of Girraween High School. Sebet Reith. He's got a pretty famous brother as well, Dwop. He's been busy in Paris a few weeks ago.
And Ben, this is where transition is where NBL1 All-Stars are going to accelerate, or excel, I should say. Not having a lot of time together. They don't have time for set plays, but out in the open court, running the court, that's where they're going to have an advantage.
Seb Reith just a little too under the basket that time. Again, how fast is this game? Michael Harris. Aquera saved it. And then Russo Nance had his foot on the line. We're under a minute. 2-for-1 opportunity as Harris checks into the game. Doolittle's going to sit down. Doolittle's been impressive for the Perth Wildcats on both ends. As mentioned, 5-point differential right now. They go into Parsons. He's guarded by Harris. They played against each other in the NBL1 West. Parsons falling out of bounds, nearly took out that front row. Harris. They could go early in the shot clock. They do. Did everything but drop there for Harrison. We've got a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Reith. Nelson likes this matchup with Aquera. Goes at Aquera, back to Reith to beat the buzzer. He's a little long. Parsons drew contact there in the back just to gain enough separation, but deemed illegal, and it'll be their 4th team foul, so they'll get one final look at it. The Perth Wildcats. An entertaining first quarter. Let's see what Pepper can create here.
Step up.
Pepper. Contact on the pass, and, well, an absolute coach killer, especially in a regular season game. In the preseason, potentially not as much, but give a bit more practice for Elijah Pepper to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And we touched on it a little bit before. Jack Eisenbarger, well, yourself came out as an import, married to an Australian, set up life here now for Elijah Pepper. His father came out, played for the Hobart Chargers, spent time playing in Victoria as well. He was born in country Victoria, went back to the US, and because of that Australian citizenship, now he can come out here and play as a local, and, well, it's an advantage for him, and it's an absolute pleasure for us to see him do his thing.
Absolutely, Bennett, and the way he's built, he could probably be professional in a few different sports. Absolutely strong-looking man.
That has hit the speaker. Michael Harris frustrated there that the speaker got in the way of his half-court bomb. It's quarter time here from the Lakeside Recreation Centre, the southern suburbs of Perth, Western Australia. It is the Perth Wildcats 34, the NBL1 West Select Team 27. And for all his thoughts on the first 10 minutes, Jackie Eisenbarger.
Well, it's going to be a fast-paced game, Benny, and as we saw there, NBL1 All-Stars are going to thrive in transition. Those early shot clock plays are going to be what they're going to be looking to attack and exploit. I would expect John Riley's going to want to play deep in his bench to get a lot of guys looks and rotations and start to figure out what lineups are really going to work best for the Wildcats.
Jack, you've had the experience of playing right around the world and coming in, whether it be at college, high school, playing professionally in parts of Europe and here in Australia. What's it like coming in to a new organization, new teammates, new coaching staff, and when we've got a group of professionals coming in from different walks of life, what's the mindset of the players for the Perth Wildcats coming in, likes of when you have an Elijah Pepper coming in, some new imports? How does that feel as an individual? How do they prepare themselves coming into that new environment?
Yeah, well, I would say Australia is probably one of the best places you can start your career or just get to as a professional because of the culture. The culture is so strong, and especially at a club like the Wildcats, with their history, that's better. With their history, you're going to want to be at a club where you're welcomed and you're embraced, and also can step into a place of, where you have that success behind the club.
It is quarter time here at the Lakeside Recreation Centre. Of course, these two teams did battle on Friday night at the Molly Recreation Centre. It was the Perth Wildcats 118, the NBL1 West Select 100 on Friday night. David Aquera, Michael Harris, Russo, Nance, Pepper, and Harris. For the Wildcats, it'll be Parsons, Nelson, Narkle, Turnich, and his good mate Davis for the select team to start this second quarter. Pepper gets his feet behind the line. Jackie Eisenbarger, he set that up as soon as he caught it.
Absolutely. They ran that step-up screen for Pepper coming off. They're looking to get him the ball. He's definitely a scorer. This is my first time seeing him play, but I expect to see some more sets drawn up for him later.
Here's Harris now, off to the races, goes straight into the body of Davis. Michael Harris, he'll shoot two. Out of South Australia, Michael Harris. He spent a number of seasons now with the Perth Wildcats, and in his off-season, he was at the Warwick Senators with his good mate Todd Withers sitting on the Perth Wildcats bench tonight. He was an absolute scoring machine for them. Unfortunately, getting knocked out in the first round of the playoffs against the Goldfields Giants, and just plays so square to the basket, Jack Eisenbarger.
Absolutely. And we saw Davis complaining about that foul call, but anytime you have one hand up and then one hand on the body, they're going to call that every single time as long as the offense initiates that contact.
Davis over the hand of Russo Nance. And a one.
How many years, Ben, has CD been doing that pick and pop and just absolutely torching teams?
Absolutely. He's so long. He stands 205 centimeters, my understanding. Caleb Davis, he's rocked the man bun for a long, long time and got rid of it. In his older age now, he's sporting some more facial hair. Caleb Davis. go to the line to make it a 4-point play. Connects. Fortunately, his team getting knocked out at the preliminary final stage of the NBL1 West against the eventual winners as David Aquera gets to the cup. Now, is this for a track meet? Parsons from one charge circle to the other.
That's exactly what they want to do, Ben. They want to play quick and get early shots up against this Wildcats team.
Here's Pepper. Harris finds Aquera from outside this time. David Aquera, 5 points in 90 seconds. The Midwest Express to the cup. Johnny Narkle, he had 40 in the preliminary final. Jackie Eisenbarger.
This is an absolute track meet, Ben.
Back to Narkle now. Go through Nelson. Nelson wants the on ball. It eventually comes. The pick and pop. And now Russo Nance picks up his second personal foul.
We saw Russo Nance there trying to hedge that ball screen coming off to the left there, but he didn't beat his man to the spot. So if you're late defensively getting to the spot, that's going to be a blocking foul every time. Marshall smart enough, attacking the hip, drawing that foul call.
Here is Davis. Extra. 10 to shoot now. They go through Narkle. Short. And it will trickle out of bounds. And Lakeside Recreation Centre hosting our second preseason game. Done a fantastic job. They've given Budget Hire a call. Jack Eisenbarger, they've got the red Premier Lounges from the RAC Arena here.
It's a fantastic setup, Ben. Absolutely great for the basketball community. Great for the Wildcats supporters to see this type of action up close. And just to give different communities throughout Perth an opportunity to see these guys play somewhere outside of RAC.
Speaking of RAC, it was the home to our Mitsubishi Motors NBL1 West Grand Finals, both the men's and the women's. And wasn't that a spectacle, Jack?
Absolutely incredible. Can't wait for the future NBL1 Grand Finals. I think it's going to be only up and up from here for the NBL1.
7:40 remaining. We've got the ice hockey subs coming in right now for the Perth Wildcats. Almost a 5-on, 5-off. 3 personal fouls now for Russo Nance. Ball comes into Turnage. Narkle uses the on ball. They pick and pop.
That's exactly what you want. You want that look all day.
Davis just couldn't connect. Here's Aquera handling the ball now. Downhill, Aquera. Left side, right finish. How about the athleticism? Here's Davis. Mid-range. Over the hand of Aquera. A little long this time. Short on the first, long on the second. Here's Harris now. Russo Nance for 3. It really is a point of difference, Jack. We notice when the ball drops in the lap of the Wildcats, just at this next level, they feel comfortable shooting at any time. 2 feet set. Here's Narkle spinning. Parsons went after that one. He's frustrated with himself. A great effort. Here is those subs for both teams. 5-on, 5-off for the Cats. Parsons will sit down, as will Turnage for the NBL1 West select team. 6:48 remaining. And, of course, the NBL Blitz just around the corner for the Perth Wildcats. John Riley.
Expect
upstairs. Keanu Pinder. Here is Jackson. Can't get the angle. Here's Bryce Cotton. Feet behind the line. Webster. Couldn't connect. That's off Davis. He's going to chase it. He saved it. Nice work there from Davis. They're going to go the other way. It almost feels like the shot clock's 11 seconds for tonight's game.
Exactly right. It's going to be fast-paced all night. NBL1 All-Star team haven't had a lot of time to practice together, so we're just going to see a run-gun style play tonight.
Razzle-dazzle. And the man with 7 scoring titles, Jack Eisenbarger. And when I jump on the call for the NBL1 West, I talk about the Bryce or bust players in our NBL1 West. They're players that whenever they're on the floor, any given night, you are in the contest. And so many times at the big blue arena they call RAC Arena, that man has got the Wildcats out of trouble.
What's so impressive, Ben, is his ability to finish through contact creatively around the hoop. Guys his size generally are one-dimensional, can shoot, maybe get to the mid-range, but he can get to the rack and finish through contact, and that makes him such a lethal scoring weapon. So he's always a threat when he's on the court, and he draws so much attention. So it's so difficult defensively to match up against a Bryce Cotton.
He's got 2 grand final MVPs, 2017, 2020. He's got the 3 championships, of course, 2017, 19, and 2020. And, of course, the fans, the Red Army, just have come to love Bryce Cotton each and every time. And we talk about the pick and pop from Caleb Davis. How many times have we seen the 4-point play that have brought the 10,000 Red Army alive at a Perth Wildcats home game when it drops for Cotton?
That's exactly right. And you'll notice he actually elevates and jumps forward on his 3-ball. So he often does get that contact, and referees are looking to protect shooters nowadays. So you're going to see them look to call that if there's any contact in the landing area or on the arm on his 3-point shot.
His good mate, Devondrick Walker, spent his 3rd season now here in the NBL1 West. And one of the things I love about Bryce and all our Wildcats players and coaching staff, John Riley included, Danny Mills, Sam Photo, the front office, they get to the NBL1 West games and see Bryce from time to time. He was there at the NBL1 National Finals last year, the Grand Finals as well. He connects the bonus. Here he is having a quiet little chat in the corner with Travis Durnan. Stolen. Pinder.
Showtime.
Take off. 3 sticks. Oh, my goodness. He did that too easy, Jack.
Too easy. He's done that a few times in training. That looked like a summer post-summer workout dunk he's worked on a few times there.
It'll be Tevin Jackson going to the free throw line. Just almost a decade ago now, a young Tevin Jackson spent time at the Cairns Taipans. Having that NBL experience. First one goes. Died the throw for this weekend's games. Goes 2 for 2. And the Wildcats have snuck out to a quiet 19-point lead here. 5 minutes played here in the first half. Second quarter, should I say, of the first half. Pinder with the handoff. They go through Doolittle. Got his defender in the air. Henschel short.
Ben Cotton just a little bit shaken up on that play. I don't know if you saw, he refused the ball there. Look down at that ankle. We need to check in on how that goes throughout the game.
Here's Davey. Banging bodies. 2 young bucks from WA. And referee Bosnakis now spotted a foul. It's going to go on Ben Henschel. And Josh Davies going to go to the line and shoot 2. Josh Davies' story, incredible, Jack Eisenbarger. He started as a junior here at the Lakeside Lightning, spent time in the US collegiate system with his good mate Rowan McKenzie, came back for COVID. He was shooting around on outdoor courts, public, local primary schools, and got that chance with the Cairns Taipans. And he was part of the squad that they selected to go to Paris. Unfortunately not being part of the Final Four, but part of that festival of basketball. And he really is that perfect sort of body shape for the 3-on-3 basketball format.
That's exactly right. Josh Davies, one of the hardest workers I know, one of the hardest workers I've played with, and to see his development and the absolute commitment to getting his body in the right shape and developing his mid-range and shooting ability has put him in a great spot with that 3v3 with Australia.
Speaking of putting their body in great shape, Bryce Cotton, everyone I speak to inside the 4 walls of the Wildcats say he does all the little things. Speaking of all the little things, how about that? The kid out of Kalamunda, Marshall Nelson. Webster just found Travis Durnan's hand in the cookie jar. He's going to go to the line to shoot one more. Going back to that point on Bryce Cotton, Jacka, we had the opportunity to have a chat with Keegan Crawford earlier in the season with the NBL1 West. I said, what do you get to see about Bryce Cotton that we don't see? He goes, he does all the little things. The preparation, the recovery, the ice bars, the saunas, the shoot-arounds, the stretching, all the little things to make sure he performs every time he walks on the floor.
Absolutely. We've seen consistent success from Bryce Cotton, and that doesn't go unnoticed. He does all the little things, like you said, and you have to, at this level, to be an elite athlete and prevent injuries and play at the level that he does each and every night.
Here he is now, Bryce Cotton getting the steal. It's out to 22. Left Nelson behind Bryce Cotton. Well, it's an absolute treat to be watching this courtside. Ben Pether in commentary, Jack Eisenbarger out of Zionsville, Indiana, with all his special comments. Here is Jackson, finds a slipping Durnan. And Ty Webster. So animated. It was great when his brother Corey played on the team as well. Out of Auckland, New Zealand. Attended West Lake High School and went to the University of Nebraska, as did Jack McVeigh, and what a 12 months he's had. Stolen. Here is Webster right on cue. Cotton, spin cycle, mid-court now. Cotton, kept the dribble alive. Henschel uses the on-ball. Back to Doolittle in the Kobe 8s. Couldn't connect. As we approach the 3-minute mark, Parsons and Aquera is going to check back in for both teams. Nelson to the cup. And just slipped there that time, being helped up by Bryce Cotton. And the 5-on-5 off Thursday night training subs here for Coach John Riley. And we'll take a moment to talk about Coach John Riley, Jack Eisenbarger. He was an Olympian in his own right. A very good basketball player. 2004, the Athens Olympics, played for the Boomers. He was born in far north Queensland, Toowoomba, and he's played right around the world. Multiple teams in our NBL, and did his apprenticeship for the coaching. Spent time with the Boomers coaching staff. Boise State, he was an assistant coach, and more recently UC Santa Barbara, and really started to put his fingerprints on the DNA here of the Perth Wildcats.
Absolutely. I love what he's done with this squad. It seems like they're starting to buy in to kind of the John Riley way, so to speak. And, with the success they've had previously, he stepped into a pretty good position in terms of the support from the fans and the history that the Wildcats have here.
Reith pulls it down. So his brother DeWop over there having a chat with General Manager Danny Mills. And they're in the bonus, the Perth Wildcats. So Marshall Nelson will go to the line. And, of course, with everything, whether you're an accountant, a basketball coach, a lawyer, an educator, upskilling, PD, always important. And John Riley, when he's not doing the NBL here for the Perth Wildcats, spent the last 2 seasons in the NBA Summer League with the New York Knicks and the New Orleans Pelicans, and starting to see more of that connection between the NBL and the NBA through programs like that, guys heading over, and of course the Next Gen Stars program.
Absolutely, and we saw Trevor Gleason a few years ago go from the Wildcats to the NBA with the Toronto Raptors, and there's a lot more connection happening between the NBL, NBA, as we're starting to see.
We see those teams, of course, playing those preseason games. Durnan with a catch and go. Got to the basket. The finish from Davey on the cleanup crew with 2 minutes 20 remaining. Harris trying to bump this out to a 25-point lead right now. The 22-point deficit for the select side. Nelson uses the on-ball over the hand of Aquera. Just gets his shot off so quick, Marshall Nelson. Here's Harris. Cross-court pass in the pocket of Pepper. You're going to run a half-court set here now with 10 to shoot on the clock. Harris thought about it. 4 to shoot now. Pepper needs to find it. Goes the floater. Well, when you got pipes like that.
He's an absolute scorer, and what I love with Pepper is how quick he gets his feet set to catch. Notice next time he catches the ball, feet square, ready to shoot, and he's able to get his shot off so quick. Makes it difficult to contest every time.
Parsons, guarded by Russo Nance. Can't finish. Here's Davey doing work. Pick the pocket of Aquera. Fortunately, Marshall Nelson couldn't complete the play. Oh, the lob. Well, the process didn't reflect the outcome. It had all the fans here at Lakeside Recreation Centre out of their seats. Reith now against his teammate from the East Perth Eagles. Durnan just got a little bit untidy the last couple minutes, both ends. Parsons. And a 2-for-1 opportunity here. Back to a 22-point lead. Harris. Russo Nance got his defender on his hip. There was a foul maybe on the first one. Referee spotted the second one. And referee Adrian DeConza. And we're going to go to the line to shoot 2 with an 8-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And the Joondalup Wolves buddies, Elliott and Turnage, to check back in. There's our floor wipers doing a fantastic job. Going back to Elijah Pepper, Jack Eisenbarger, 23 years of age. The first one drops in. This is his first career posting out of college. Very excited to get his teeth stuck into it. Goes 2 for 2. 71 plays 47. That's out of bounds. How about the backcourt pressure? And they'll get another look at it here, the Perth Wildcats. It'll be Russo Nance to bring it in. The roll from Aquera, great execution. You could see the counter. The first look was Pepper. Then they found Aquera.
Absolutely, a little screen-to-screener action with the diving big Aquera for the bucket.
Sevitt Reith spent time in the U.S. at Lee Community College, as did his brother. His brother continued on to Division I. LSU, Jack Eisenbarger.
The Tigers.
Indeed. March 6th, the birthday of Shaquille O'Neal, famous alumni of the LSU, and of course Ben Simmons as well. Great to see Dwop in the crowd tonight. Now the basket's going to be cancelled. He just broke the line. So Reith just maybe getting a friendly explanation there from John, really. We'd love to see it. Shot clock's turned off. Going to play it out here. Nelson picking up. Pepper coming off that turn. Here's Parsons. He gets the steal. Going to be met at the rim by Aquera. The finish from Reith. And the turnover again there from the Wildcats. So they've got 4 seconds remaining. The NBL1 West select side do have a timeout. Coach Dale Joseph's seen what I've seen. They've got a chance to talk it over with 4 seconds remaining. We'll see what he's got in his coaching book for us when we come back in. As well, a feel-good story throughout the week for the Perth Wildcats. Local talent, Tom Jerovich, a Willetton junior. He played his wobble there at the Willetton Basketball Association for the Tigers and won 2 gold medals for WA Metro. And the under-18s, the under-20s, signing his professional development player contract with the Perth Wildcats. Jack, and for a number of years now, for 4 years at the NBL1 level. He's been continually just chipping away, the young man, and when he's not doing that, he's studying neuroscience to become a doctor. He's going to be pretty busy for the next 8-9 months.
Absolutely. Very well deserved. Big congratulations to Tom Jarovich. Had an opportunity to play in a summer league with Tom, and absolutely love the guy. Works his tail off, does all the little things, committed to playing defense, rebounding, screening, and has really worked on his offensive skills. If he continues to develop his shot, his handle, I think we're going to see a long pro career from Tom.
Nelson to bring it back in. We'll see what look that Coach Dale Joseph's drawn up. Here's Turnage. Finds Reith. The screen from Nelson. He's open. Well, it was good execution. The finish just not quite there from Seba Reith. It's halftime here at the Lakeside Recreation Centre, the southern suburbs of Perth, Western Australia, as they play host to the Perth Wildcats and the NBL1 West Select team. It's the Wildcats 73. The NBL1 West Select 50, and Jack Eisenbarger, your thoughts on the first half?
It was an absolutely run-and-gun show, as we saw there. The Wildcats, too much firepower offensively, and anytime they got an offensive rebound, they converted almost every time. It's incredible the firepower they've got, the speed and athleticism. It's just that next level you can see from the Cats. But a good fight from our NBL1 All-Star side. Again, we're going to see a lot of shots early in the shot clock, and they're going to want to keep the pace up because they don't have a lot of half-court sets that they've been having time to work on as the Wildcats would have.
Going at 59% from the field. The Perth Wildcats, they're led by that man, Bryce Cotton, 19 points, 8 of 11. And an impressive 14 points, 4 of 7 for Elijah Pepper off the bench. Well, we're going to take a short break here. We'll be back in a short 4.5 minutes time for all the action here at Lakeside Recreation Centre. The second half of the preseason game between the Perth Wildcats and the NBL1 West Select. And welcome back, everybody, to the second of the preseason games between the Perth Wildcats and the NBL1 West Select side. We are at the Lakeside Recreation Centre, southern suburbs of Perth, Western Australia. Thank you for joining us on the NBL Plus app and right around Perth, Western Australia, and right around Australia and the world as the NBL kicks off only in a few short weeks. My name is Ben Pedro, joined alongside me from Zionsville, Indiana, a Basketball WA personality, spent time in our league as well, All-Star 5 member in the State Basketball League. A big warm welcome back to the second half, Jack Eisenbarger.
Here we go, Ben. I expect a big, quick start from the NBL1 All-Star team, try to cut into this Wildcats lead.
Of course, the break we talked about, 59% for the Perth Wildcats from the field going, and an impressive 76% from two. 38 points in the paint, 17 points off the turnovers, and well, for the NBL1 West Select side, they're going at 39%. Interesting to note, had the 11 turnovers at the break. And it is Marshall Nelson leading all scorers for them, 13 points, 4 of 8. Jack, what do you think the coaching staff of the NBL1 West Select might have had a chat about at the halftime break?
Well, if you look at the points off turnovers, the Wildcats have 17 to the NBL1 West All-Stars 5. And so part of that is looking after the basketball. Because as we know, those turnovers often lead to a quick, fast break layup on the other end. So you got to look after the basketball.
It'll be the Wildcats in the red, the NBL1 Select side in their NBL1 alternate strip jerseys in the white. Doolittle, Pinder, Webster, Harris, and Cotton for the Wildcats. It'll be Turnich, Davis, Nelson, Parsons, and Narkle for the NBL1 All-Stars. That's a little short there from Harris.
Doolittle is down, hobbling back. Looks like an ankle injury potentially, Ben.
He's going to come straight out of the game. He's going to be attended to by the medical staff. Hope he's okay. Of course, we don't want to see that ever in any game, but particularly in a preseason game, Jack. And see he's gone to the back right now. He's going to walk past Coach Danny Mills, the general manager, and the coaching staff, and we see him just walking behind us right now.
He's walking really gingerly on that ankle. Looks like it was maybe a roll came down on someone's foot potentially.
Turnich with the cleanup crew gets the finish, and Keanu Pinder down the other end. Here's Turnich at a massive 2024 season. Narkle for three, short. 75 plays, 54. Of course, these two teams, as mentioned previously, did battle on Friday night as the Wildcats prepare for their 24-25 campaign. As Parsons gets to the cup, he's going to shoot two, Deshaun Parsons, and most recently he spent some time in the Goldfields, Jack Eisenbarger. And wasn't he and Randy Bell a dominant duo? It's two scoring machines.
Such a fun side to watch this year, Ben. And as you often say, it's a good sign for the league when our country teams are going well. Both Kalgoorlie and Geraldton, we love to see them do well. They always bring out a great crowd. And when they're going well, usually the league's going well.
Out of Sacramento, California. Attended Portland State University. Deshaun Parsons. He's played right around the world, Jack Eisenbarger. Armenia, Austria, Finland, Hungary, Iceland, Russia, more recently in Israel and Vietnam. So he's a journeyman, and he calls the west coast of Australia home right now. Here's Cotton. Out to Pinder. Feet behind the line in those reverse Grinches. Harris kept it alive. Bang, bang, Bryce Cotton.
Ben, you can't give the Wildcats a second look. Every time they get a rebound, they convert at such a high percentage. That is an easy three-pointer for BC.
Indeed. But it was the tip from Harris, and it's something that we come to love, and the Red Army really enjoyed in his game last season was just those hustle plays, those extra efforts, and just those little things that just allowed them to have those second chance opportunities. As Davis goes to the line, much talked about his connection with good friend CJ Turnish. They were at Silagore Valley State University, the Cardinals, for their collegiate career. The second one drops. Works in finance now and resides back in his home state, Western Australia. Henschel goes through Webster. Webster, just a D-cell dribble, loses the handle. Webster's visibly frustrated about that. Bryce more concerned about the safety of the floor.
Absolutely. Ben, we'd love to see this NBL1 All-Star team get to the basket a bit more. They're doing their best work when they get 2 feet inside the keyway, only shooting the 3 ball at the moment, 22%, 4 from 18. So although they have some shooters, they're most efficient at the moment getting to the basket. So let's see if they can attack the basket and get something happening here.
Ben Pedler in commentary, Jack Eisenberger with all his special comments. Webster and Davis having a bit of a light-hearted chat over there. Some nice crowds made their way in here too, Lakeside. The Purple Army supporting there. Local star Josh Davey and Ty Webster. His hands on head, frustrated about that as that one drops. Here is Henschel fading away. Just can't get the roll, Ben Henschel. Passes. Kept the dribble alive. Now he goes at Harris. Got the step on him. And the cut from Marshall Nelson. We see that so many times, Jack. Just couldn't finish this time.
Great cut. Just put a little bit too much mustard on that one.
How's the step there from Ben Henschel? He's going to get to the line to shoot 2. We touched on a little bit about his journey already thus far. Coburn Jr. attended Wilson Senior High School. Headed over to the COE. Forego the idea to go to college and sign with the Perth Wildcats, and more recently in the New Zealand NBL playing for the Nuggets. Knocks down the second. And Michael Harris, he's going to check in, take out Harris. One Harris to another. 7:07. It's 21 points the differential right now. Both these two sides. It was a track meet in the first half, Jack.
Absolute track meet. And again, here's where the NBL1 select team may struggle a little bit in this half court, slow down set, not quite as in sync as the Cats. Davis.
And Pinder tipped it off the rim. Passes. Had plenty of time to line it up. A little short that time. Henschel's, they're off. 3-on-1. Nice find from Henschel. How quick was that?
Very quick. Little 3-on-1 action. Quick decision. Great play by Henshaw.
As we come down this end of the floor, we see Liam Santa Maria, one of the basketball personalities, now a journalist and broadcaster for the NBL, sitting baseline tonight, enjoying the festivities of the preseason games. There's plenty of familiar faces of the basketball community out here, Jack, and it's great for the local community to be able to see their Perth Wildcats, as you touched on, up close and personal.
Absolutely. We see a few personalities out here from the basketball community. And, again, this preseason competition, NBL1 All-Stars versus your Perth Wildcats, getting everybody excited for the NBL season to come.
Offensive foul. Visibly frustrated the Perth Wildcats coaching staff with that call. Referee Hay calling the offensive foul. They definitely had a wide open bucket if the play was allowed, but Now, floor wipers again. They've been busy today. I'm sure they would have had a wobble game, Jack, and now they're on the tools again.
Absolutely. What I love, Ben, is the passion, right? We have a bit of a margin here, but really trying to set the standard for their intensity, effort, regardless of the scoreboard, trying to set those standards early leading into the season.
Nelson all the way to the cup. That was impressive. Marshall Nelson. Cotton now goes at Davey. Gets the step on Davey. Just a nice find to Webster. And the high five to the man on the baseline. The man of the people, Ty Webster. Some young fan over there. Very happy. Made his day as CJ Turnich, well, took his moment, didn't he? Stepped up.
Absolutely love
Stuck the
that.
hand out, and Ty Webster thought, got to respect the game. Here is Cotton. Doesn't drop there this time. Davey takes off the rim. He's going to do the point guard duties now. We've played 5 minutes. Careful what you wish for, Davey, with Henschel that tight on you. Oh, what about that pass? Out to Narkle. The defense there from Pinder. Got 2 hands on it. And the cavalry will arrive for both teams. Multiple subs. Ty Webster checking out. 4:50 remaining.
Ben, love to see that on-ball pressure from the Wildcats. Reminds me of a one Damian Martin a few years ago. We saw that relentless ball pressure, a staple, an identity for the Cats when they had that championship run multiple years in a row.
An identity that was recognized by the ultimate recognition, naming the Defensive Player of the Year trophy after him. And who could forget that block on Kevin Durant at the Olympics? As David Aquera will go to the line, shoot 2. More recently, played for the East Perth Eagles, spent time at the Melbourne United for a number of years, and his second year now with the Perth Wildcats.
Ben, just going back to Damian Martin, he just proves that if you can create a niche for yourself in this league, you can play this game for a long time. Whether it's defensively, shooting the basketball, it might be being a great elite rebounder. You're going to see guys carve out a nice career when they can have 1 or 2 skills that they can excel at.
Indeed. He was exceptional and causing havoc for all point guards around the league. Here is Aquera. Can't quite connect. Davey finds Nelson. They get the go-ahead pass to the Midwest Express. Johnny Narkle with the fancy footwork.
Right to left Euro step. We've seen that so many times for the Geraldton Bucks.
Elijah Pepper just continues to get the scoreboard ticking over. Nelson finds Jackson, the extra. Decided not to go against it. Instead goes himself. Just not quite the angle he wanted there. Jackson, Aquera now. Mid-court, he's going to get it back here. The easiest 2 points. The double-handed board slap, Jack Eisenbarger.
Love it. Fundamental off 2 hands, or 2 feet, 2-hand finish. Easy bucket for the Wildcats.
Here is Turnich. Finds Davey. Just can't find the bottom of the hoop that time, Josh Davey. Pepper putting the ball on a string for us. 91 plays 67. Here's Henschel. The step back. A little rush that time for Henschel. He might have wanted that back. Now they settle it down and into their half-court set. Russo Nance, 5 to shoot, finds a cutting Harris. David Aquera finds himself out of bounds. And into the game for the first time tonight. We mentioned him a little bit earlier on the call. Tom Jerovich seeing his first minutes on the Sunday afternoon clash. And you've got to touch base here right now for an update on Christian Doolittle.
Christian Doolittle comes back. Looks like he won't be going back in the game. That left ankle is fully wrapped up with an ice bag. Hope he can heal up and rest them and get ready for the season.
Tom Jerovich. Looks like he's got a fresh pair of kicks there for the Sunday afternoon clash. Of course, he's coach for the Wilton Tigers, one of the assistants for the select team. Travis Dernan. Easy as you like. It's just so long. Right now, here is Pepper. Loses the handle. Elliott's going to come the other way. Dernan steps into it. Back to Elliott. Sharpshooter lefty. Going one way, shooting it the other, Jack Eisenbarger.
Speaking of the COE, Elliott, a former COE player himself.
Great to see him when we had the wildcard games, traveling around as Jerovich up to 5 points in less than 60 seconds. Yeah, that was a fantastic time, 2022, when the COE traveled around playing those wildcard games. We got to see the likes of the best young talent. Here is Davey. Coach is imploring Harris to push now. He finds Pepper from deep. Elijah Pepper putting the NBL on notice.
Again,
I think they found someone, Jack.
Absolutely. His catch and shoot is so quick. Got to get the timer out, Ben, to see how quick from touch to release. But Pepper shooting lights out and getting that thing off quick.
UC Davis men's basketball in California. It's where Elijah Pepper spent his collegiate career. He was a two-time All-Star 5 in the Big West. Dernan, feet behind the line. Here is Pepper on cue, coming the other way. You settle it down now, and they go through Russo Nance. You got 8 seconds to shoot now on the shot clock. Russo Nance goes at Jackson. Got him on his hip. Just couldn't finish. Aquera with the cleanup job.
Another second chance opportunity for the Cats. Again, pretty good defense from Jackson. Forced the miss, but it's just that cleanup duty, not quite finishing off the play defensively, the all-star team.
To beat the buzzer, Tevin Jackson with the Hail Mary over the long arm of the defense. That's quarter time. 101 plays 74. Tevin Jackson beats the buzzer there, and we have a 27-point differential in our preseason game between Perth Wildcats and the NBL1 West Select side. With 10 minutes remaining, we got two Lakeside Lightning Stars making their way on court. Unfortunately, their season ended a little bit early, so it's been a while since they've shot around. Jack Eisenbarger, Ben Lee, and Tommy Parkinson. But they're going to have a crack from half court, and what do you reckon we can expect for the final 10 minutes?
We're going to definitely see the Wildcats look to keep the intensity high. Again, this time of year for the Wildcats is all about setting habits. What kind of habits and disciplines are they going to use now and set that are going to lead them into the season? So Coach really is going to stay on top of their effort, stay on top of the pace, and I don't expect anything to drop off from them. From our all-star team, the NBL1 squad, again, we're going to look for them to push the pace. They don't want to slow the game down at any stretch. They want to play in transition, play quick, and rely on their natural athleticism and game rather than any set plays or things that would require coaching, because they just haven't had the time together yet.
Jack, when Coach really and his coaching group come together, we are right now in the middle of August. They'll be playing finals come the start of next year. When it comes to developing a plan for the offense and for the defense and having wrinkles, how do they go about that trickle effect of rolling it in, not showing all of their stuff to everyone throughout the season in that first month? How does that plan work, and what would that look like in terms of them putting that in week to week and preparing them for those finals campaigns, which the Wildcats are definitely planning on being there at the business end once more?
Absolutely. So this part of the season, Coach really would be putting a few base sets in. What you don't want to do is overload the players. You want to still have them have the structure, but the freedom to play within that structure. And as the course of the season goes about, he's going to introduce new little wrinkles, new little actions as he gets to work out what players play best together and in what position. So we're going to see wrinkles coming out of the base offenses that he's running at the moment.
10 minutes remaining of the second preseason game between these two sides, in preparation, of course, for the NBL season 2024-2025. The man of the people, Neil Barnard, on his feet, getting the local crowd clapping their hands. Wolf Mother rings out right around the stadium. That's offhand. Great close out there from Jerovic. Here's Harris in rhythm. Looks good. Michael Harris. Knockdown.
Looked good off the hand. Feet set in transition. Bucket.
Gets a haircut once a week, I'm told, Michael Harris. He is looking sharp each and every time he steps out on the floor. Stolen. Here's Pepper. That'll be unsportsmanlike. Now Elijah Pepper's visibly frustrated. Maybe.
Again, love the passion, Ben.
Bit of a cross-cultural interaction there, Jack Eisenbarger. Sever Reith sees the funny side in it, having a bit of a laugh. Elijah Pepper, well, we touched on it before. Out of UC Davis, this being his first contract. Father Ryan played for Central Washington University before heading out to Australia, and Pepper knocks down the first. He'll shoot two. And he has been impressive in both these two games.
Ben, Pepper built like an absolute brick house, but plays with fluidity, smooth. Obviously, we've seen his ability to stretch the floor with his shooting ability, but also can get to that mid-range and basket quite well. He can put the ball on the floor. I think we're going to see some dynamic plays from Pepper this season for the Wildcats.
Quera goes at Reith. It'll be Dernan who picks up the foul. Referee Bosnakis agrees with me. In the last 10 minutes here for the NBL1 West Select team. It's been a long season for them, getting started back in March. Some of these sides, like Jackson, Davey, their season's finishing earlier than the others, not making the playoffs, but the Wolves in particular, Geraldton Buccaneers, Madra Magic, Wilton Tigers, all going deep in the playoffs. It is a long season, Jack, and we look forward to a well-earned rest, and this comes to a close tonight.
That's right. Seb Reith with the rebound. Just saw his brother Duop Reith in the corner, the Portland Trailblazer, here to support his younger brother.
Beautiful part of the world, Portland, that west coast part of Oregon and Washington. Here's Jerovic to add to his tally. 8 points, Tom Jerovic. I wonder who lifts more out of him and Pepper.
Man, another absolute unit. Love to see that early days, Jerovic getting on the scoreboard. That's going to be great for his confidence as a new signee for the Wildcats.
Russo Nance with the finger roll. That was some handy. Nice little touch there from Russo Nance. Reith now, guarded by Jerovic. Reith goes at Jerovic, gets the step on him. Nice finish. 2023, a rebounder of the year in the NBL1 West, Seba Reith. Here's Pepper. Offensive rebound, Jerovic to the elbow, mid-range. Aquera, automatic.
Another second chance opportunity, Ben. They convert. I've got to say, I'm going to take a stab. 90% of those old rebounds they're putting back for second chance opportunities.
Travis Dernan with that D-cell footwork. He's going to go to the line to shoot two, of course. Part of that 2022 championship side with the Rockingham Flames. They went one better and won the national championship there at the State Basketball League. And congratulations to the Knox Raiders going back-to-back national champs, 2023, 2024.
But excited to see Almanza, the young Spanish talent for the Cats. Had an opportunity to speak to Arturo Alvarez, one of my former coaches in Spain. And he says that for Spain, they're excited about this kid. He's going to be the next big thing. They expect him to play in all the national team opportunities that come up with FIBA and down the track, even the Olympics. So let's keep an eye on him. Unfortunately, not seeing him play tonight, but this kid is supposed to be special.
The second, of course, next-gen academy star for the Perth Wildcats. Of course, Alex Sark, congratulations to him, top 10 draft pick going to the Washington Wizards. He is now in the league. Congratulations to him. It's Ben Henshaw. Geez, that looked good.
Smooth operator. Expect to see him get a little bit more time this year with the Cats. He's grown. He's developed another year under his belt.
Sebert Reith filling it up for three. At 12 points now, Sebert Reith. Tom Jerevich, 10 points for the young man, and brings Jesse Wagstaff to his feet. On ball. They eventually find Turnage. The isolation Turnage just rises up over Jerevich. Just end-to-end baskets right now. Here is Jerevich. Spinning on Reith. 12 points for Jerevich right now.
How good has Jerevich been off the bench? First showcase for the Wildcats.
Played 6.5 minutes, Tom Jerevich. Got the 12 points. Sebert Reith over his buddy. Couldn't quite find the bottom of the basket there. Here is Henschel. Downhill. The death touch pass to Aquera. Just lost the handle.
Great hands by Reith on that deflection.
As Johnny Narkle makes his way to the bench. Sebert Reith just going at Aquera. An exciting talent, Sebert Reith. Elijah Pepper checking back into the game. Sebert Reith, of course, playing for the East Perth Eagles. They finished 6th on the Mitsubishi Motors NBL1 West table. Unfortunately, knocking out on their home floor in their elimination final against the Rockingham Flames. They ran into a red-hot Devondrick Walker. Took over in the first half, and they just couldn't quite get it back as Sebert Reith knocks down the second. Played here, of course, for the Lakeside Lightning for one season. And here's Henschel. Finds Jerevich. 14 points. I'm going to go to the stat book. That may be his year high, Tom Jerevich.
Tom Jerevich. I am absolutely wrapped for Tom. That is fantastic. He's coming off, putting the ball in the hoop, playing with confidence. Ben, he looks like he belongs.
Nice finish there for Turnage. Averaged the 6 points, the 2 assists, the 3.5 rebounds. Tom Jerevich had the 20 points against the Perry Lakes Hawks on the 22nd of June. His season high. Aquera upstairs. That was pretty nice, Jack Eisenbarger.
Free lane, highway down the middle, I-85, absolutely uncontested. Love to see that athleticism on display from Aquera.
Nice extra pass there from Elliott. Finds Narkle. Pepper. Falls out of bounds, gets the pass off. Referee DeConza spotted a foul. Just in the nick of time. 17 on the shot clock. There's our floor wipers. Into it again. Well, the Perth Wildcats, Jack Eisenbarger, a storied history. Successful for so many years. And most recently, again, a change in the ownership. And They had that record of consecutive championship runs to the playoffs. Their now majority owner is Mark Arena. 10 championships. And their latest one more recently in 2020. Looking to go deep in 2024 for their playoff run.
And how many of those have Bryce Cotton and Jesse Wagstaff been a part of? They are a big reason for their success and still leading this team.
Last year earlier this year, should I say, last season, running into the eventual champions as they defended the island. That is the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, and weren't they just such a feel-good story with that man, Scott Roth? It is hard not to like that guy.
Absolutely. Very happy for Tasmania. Excited to see what they come back with after that championship year.
Had so many exciting players in that team, and we saw two of them in particular head over to Paris in Will Magnay and Jack McVeigh. Jack McVeigh, shout out to him. He's got his opportunity now with that two-way contract at the Houston Rockets. Packed out the My State Bank Arena each and every week. Their team captain, former Perth Wildcats player, Clint Steindl. Here's Henschel. Just a little bit of crisscross there. Acknowledging the bench again. I feel like he's done a bit of work during the off-season with Bryce Cotton. He puts it in there, Jack. Just acknowledgement there of the four-time MVP.
Absolutely. What a gift to be able to have Bryce Cotton mentor Ben Henshaw. I expect big things from Ben as he continues to develop, grow as a leader, as a guard for this Wildcats team. Incredible IQ, great decision maker for these guys.
And now just a little bit vocal. Perth Wildcats here with our referees, Total Connections referees. Ben Henschel disagreeing with the call. As Tevin Jackson checks in, he's going to take out Johnny Narkle. Johnny Narkle tonight played the 19 and a half minutes. He's got 12 points, 3 rebounds. Part of the all-star defensive five again, and very important player for the Geraldton Buccaneers in 2024 again as Parsons gets to the cup. Straight up defense, found a gap. We're under 3 minutes. It's been Ben Pether in commentary, Jack Eisenberg with all his special comments here as the Wildcats prepare for their 2024-25 NBL campaign, and it'll start at the Hoops Fest as Aquera. That's off Jerovic. It'll be a NBL1 select ball. Here is Elliott. Go through Reith now, guarded by Aquera. That bang bodies many a times tonight. Reith, well, he started at the three-point line. Aquera now coming the other way. Nice little fancy pass there through the legs. Here's Jerovic. Got the step on Jackson.
One-hand flip up.
16 points. 6 of 6 from the field, Tom Jerovic. Perfect tonight. Jackson gets the step on Pepper. Well, shout out to Elijah Pepper and shout out to Ben Pepper. That's not me. Ben Pepper. P-E-P-P-E-R. Geraldton local. Played in the NBL. And part of the coaching staff for the Geraldton Buccaneers in 2024. He is every bit full a 7-footer. Drafted to the Boston Celtics, Jack Eisenberger. Picked up basketball as a late teen. Spent time in the NBL for a number of years as they've just done the raffle here at the Lakeside Lightning with 1 minute 45 remaining. As we're in the final 2 minutes, here is Turnich to the cup. Well, there's one thing Turnich is known for, and that's scoring. And 15 points tonight, 7 of 12 for CJ Turnich. Out of Michigan, Henschel finds Pepper. Parsons now. Oh, nice pass. How about the block there from Harris? His reaction says it all. And contact to the head, referee Hay says. So Seth Reith will go to the line, shoot 2. He's got the 14 points tonight. His third trip to the free throw line. The first one drops. And he touched on his brother, Dwop, Portland Trailblazers. So exciting to see so many Aussies in the NBA now. That pathway is well and truly established, Jack.
Absolutely. Seeing Dwop both with the Trailblazers and with the Australian national team. Very exciting for what's happening with Basketball Australia, but also here for local WA talent representing in the NBA.
It drops for Tevin Jackson. Well, the Blitz will get started on September 8th for the Perth Wildcats. They're taking on the New Zealand Breakers, being held on the Gold Coast. Well, the NBL1 National Finals was on the sunny coast, and the Blitz will be on the Gold Coast there at September 8th. And they'll take on the New Zealand Breakers, the Illawarra Hawks, and the Cairns Taipans. And then round 1 at RAC Arena. It'll be September 20th against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. And Elijah Pepper there, just getting a bit of a sting on his finger.
Pepper jarred his finger there, going for the deflection. Don't want to do anything silly now, Ben. 40 seconds left. You want to end this game, no more injuries.
A little bit of salt water at Scarborough Beach will do the job, I feel, tomorrow. Here is Parsons. 8-second differential between the shot clock. Elijah Pepper there still holding that finger. Well, of course, we had Julian Pisaba pop a finger in our grand final 2 weeks ago at the RSC Arena. And a local GP from the Mandurah Magic, one of the fans, put on the white lab coat, popped it back in, and let him out there once more. As here is the skyhook from Pepper. They'll dribble it out. It'll be full time here at the Lakeside Recreation Centre. 131 the Perth Wildcats, 108 the NBL1 West Select side, as both coaches meeting and exchanging